gentlemen, good morning and welcome. For those who might be wondering, this happens to be my name, Leon Chisholm. Alright, today we want to look at teamwork, and under the caption, or sub-caption, sacrificing individual aspiration for collective goals. Now, one of the things that might jump out right away when we talk about sacrificing individual aspiration is that right away people start thinking, I have to give up on something that is important to me so others can benefit. And most times a little selfishness comes in. But the reason why people do this from time to time is that they don't totally understand what is a sacrifice. Oftentimes when somebody tells you to sacrifice something, right away we think of giving away something. But the true meaning of a sacrifice is really giving up something of a lower order for something of a higher order. If I might take it home to you with a simple example. Now if you should have $5,000 and it is the last $5,000 you have, and you have a friend who is desperate, who is in need, and you take that $5,000 and give it to that particular friend. Now, here's what is going to happen to you. The feeling that you get from it is something that you couldn't use the $5,000 to pay for. The sense of that you have done something right, not for the sake that you'll get it back, not for the fact that it's your friend. Probably the person is not even your friend. But at the end of the day, you could not use $5,000 to pay for the feeling that it will give you. It's sort of put your mind in a space that you know that, hey, you expect good things because you are doing good things. So when we talk about sacrificing individual aspirations, you are giving up something that is smaller or something that will be larger in the end. And I'll move on and show you something else. Now I want you to take a look at this little video and pay keen attention. sums up what teamwork is about. In fact, if you look at the second to last quote, or quotation, it says that together, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Now I know you folks are athletic. Now in 2008, the Jamaican 4x1 team smashed the world record in the Olympics. But interestingly, most people won't remember who had the record before. I believe it was a team from France. But the interesting thing about that particular team, that none of the 4 men who held the world record was able to run below 10 seconds. Yet, together as a team, they were able to smash the world record. And that is why we are saying, when ordinary people come together and work as a team, the result can be extraordinary. And that is really the key to teamwork. Now, there are many reasons for teamwork, and today I'll just look at 3 simple reasons. Under the relevance of teamwork, or the importance of teamwork. Now, here's the first one. Every job, every sport requires teamwork. Now, let me talk about the great Tiger Woods. Now, that's an individual sport, golf. And most people say it's just a one-man team. But if you ever watch Tiger Woods back in the day when he was playing, anytime he would hit a shot, he would always look over his shoulder. And the reason he was doing it, because his mentor was there. He was always checking up to see if this is right. And even though that was an individual sport, I know sometimes we think that we can do it on our own. But especially the sports that you are playing, one man will never make a team. And one man will never be successful. In fact, I'll share a little story. Now, I love this whole idea of presenting and talking to people. And sometimes I really want to do it more. And I get this idea somewhere in my head that, you know what, that I need to do it. And I say, you know what, I'm going to get some help. Now, interestingly, when I talked to the 2 young ladies that I wanted to help, the ideas that they start putting forward, I never think of it. Even though I was thinking of presenting and talking to people for more than 10 years now. Just by talking to 2 young ladies, they start to pour some ideas. And this is where teamwork really helps you. You need to get everybody ideas to push forward to meet that big idea. Now the next thing, building and maintaining a legacy. How many persons here know of Karl Malone? About 3 persons, maybe more. How many persons have ever heard of Michael Jordan? Almost everybody. How many persons have ever heard of Magic Johnson? More persons. Anybody here? John Stockton? Alright. Now, let me share something with you. You see, teamwork will help you to create a lasting legacy. Now, I'm going to let you know something. Karl Malone have scored more points in basketball than Michael Jordan. In fact, Karl Malone ranks 2nd in overall points. And Michael Jordan is somewhere about 4th or 5th. However, if you should ask any young person on the road, who is Karl Malone? Most of them will look at you with a blank stare. And the reason is this. Whereas Michael Jordan, as a team, have won 6 championships, Karl Malone don't have one. And that is why most people will never hear about Karl Malone. And the same thing with Magic Johnson and John Stockton. Now, Magic Johnson have won about 5 or 6 titles. When they talk about point guards, who is the best point guard? The name that jumped to mind quickly is Magic Johnson. But guess what? John Stockton is the leading person when it comes to assists of all time in NBA. And yet the name John Stockton does not jump to mind. You folks love the Messi and Ronaldo thing. And right now, if we talk about greatest footballers, and they say Messi, the first person will tell you, most person will say, he has never won a World Cup. He has not done much as a team player. And that is what I'm talking about, building and maintaining a legacy. Because right, let me ask you this, you young men are footballers. Who scored the most goals in the last World Cup? Who scored the most goals in the last World Cup? See? Alright, it wasn't even running. Now let me ask you a question. Who won the last World Cup? And that is what I mean when it comes to team. Because team effort always stand out more. Most people want to remember individual sport. But if you want a legacy in whatever you are doing, you have to build something as a team. Karl Malone, John Stockton, two of the greatest players that has ever played the game. One second in his field, one top of his field. And right now, nobody ever hear about them. Hardly. And that is why we need teamwork to build something that will last. Because the truth is, your individuality will not get lost in the team. The next thing, as it relates to the relevance of teamwork, one weakling can destroy an entire chain. One weakling. You see, PSG right now is a team with a lot of stars. They are spending a lot of money on football. But it's just a collection of stars. It's really not a team. And guess what? You gentlemen will know. You are playing a game. Worse if it's a championship game. You do all the best. You are going good. And then once somebody make one mistake. One bad thing. One goal, end of the match. All your work evaporate. One goalkeeper. And that's what we're talking. You see, the truth is, you want to build your team so that everybody is strong. Because the truth is, if you are your team, you have 10 strong players and one weak player. That one weak player can cost you the entire season. That one player can cost you your legacy. And at the end of the day, you don't want everything that you are building to evaporate. And that is why it is important to always have a solid team behind you. And that is why each of us here have to invest in that particular team if we are going to reach anywhere. Now, most persons have problems with team because of competition. Most persons. They want to think that while I'm within a team, competition, everybody, football have 11 places on the field. And you might have 22 or 23 players competing for that 11th place. In fact, sometimes you have more than that. Because sometimes the squad is even bigger until they trim the squad. So most times you have 4 players competing for one space. And the competition sometimes always show a negative side. So a man starts thinking, if I don't show up this man, then he's going to get my spot. Now, competition can make or break us. But competition can break us down easily. But it can also foster development. Now I'm going to look at 2 players that you probably know. Just the other day, Andres Iniesta, one of the greatest midfielders that I've ever seen, retired. And shortly before him, his good friend, Xavi Hernandez. Now, Pep Guardiola, who some consider to be one of the biggest coach now, had a little story about these 2 fellows. When Pep Guardiola was the captain for Barcelona, Xavi was in the team as a young man. Now Pep Guardiola said to Xavi one day, you are going to retire me, but this kid, referring to Iniesta, is going to retire us both. Now, Xavi said that he went to the training ground to see Iniesta because everybody was saying that this young player plays a lot like him. So he said he went to the training ground. And Xavi said when he see Iniesta for the first time, he was so amazed. But not only that, he said, this player really don't play like him. He said, this player do much more than he does. But at the same time, Xavi didn't start thinking that, you know what, I have to try to get Iniesta out of the team. Because most thought Iniesta would be getting Xavi's game. In fact, what they did was to foster and build a relationship that both of them work with each other and continue to develop each other. And if we look at it this way, the truth is we can make each other better instead of breaking down each other because we're working for one team.
That's true.
The next thing, respect each other's talent. If we're in a particular sport, any sport, in a workplace, even though there is competition, if there is respect for each other's talent, we'll get along just well. And I'm going to use Xavi and Iniesta as another example. Now if you watch Spain, when Spain is playing, Iniesta, we're number 6, and Xavi, we're number 8. But when they're playing for Barcelona, Xavi, we're number 6, and Iniesta, we're number 8. And this is what I talk about respect for each talent. Because both of them wanted the number 8 shirt. So they come together. Instead of fighting who gets the number 8 shirt, both of them as big men come together and say, listen, when I'm playing for Barcelona, you wear the number 8. When we're playing for the national team, you wear the number 8. So there was a healthy respect for each other. And that is how they get along for many years. And have been superb for Barcelona, superb for Spain. And we must learn that. There are some persons who are better than you. You don't have to tear them down for a spot. Learn from them and continue to develop. The next thing, there is enough for everyone, gentlemen. And I know there is just 11 spots, sometimes maybe 14, and a particular team any one day. But there is enough space for everyone. And outside of football, we need to learn this. That this world have enough work, enough talent, everything for everyone. Now, Mr. Wright, who is a good friend of mine, there's something that he said to me once, which I've never forgot as it relates to work. I remember when I started working with Mr. Wright and he built windows, glass windows. So when I was telling him that, I want to learn this skill. And he said, Chisholm, listen man, you need to get a van and come down to the shop and teach you how to build the windows anytime you're ready. Because there is enough work for everybody. That's what he said to me. Now remember, this was the field that the person was in. And you know that once another person comes in the field, competition. Naturally, some of the work that he would get, the other person would get. Because we're not far apart. But he said, listen, there is enough work for everybody. And we need to get that in our head. That there is enough space for everybody to succeed, to do well. There's this gentleman named Mr. Allen. Now I do printing from time to time and graphics. I remember when I went to Mandeville and I started talking to him. And I said, what am I doing? I tell him, said, I do printing and stuff. But that is what he does. And the gentleman take me in his office. And for about 1 to 2 hours, he sat me down and teach me all the things that I need to know about printing. And how I can access the device. Now remember, this was the same business that the man was in. He wasn't worried to say, if I learn more, I might take some of his work. He was empowering me to do the very same thing. And that is what we need to do. We have to help people along the way. And that is how we build a team and get people to be better over time. Now, friendship is vital. It's not a requirement. Now, this is what I mean. Friendship is vital in a team, but it is not a requirement. We don't have to be best friends. In fact, we don't even have to like each other. But the thing is, we must need a team-first approach. Now, all of you have already identified that you know Jordan. And some of you might know, Scottie Pippen as well. Well, I said, these fellows don't know the second string people. They just deal with stars. No. Now, these 3 gentlemen play on the same team for about 3 years. Then 1996, 97, 98, they won.
Let me ask you a question. What team was that?
Which one? Scottie Pippen?
Which team I got Jordan?
Jordan was Bulls?
There you go. You see, they just remember the stars, so that they don't even remember the team. And the reason why, but let me just say this though. It is the team that made him famous. Because all the other players, see, you don't know Scottie Pippen, you don't know Karl Malone, you don't know John Stockton, and all of those gentlemen were just as good, if not better, than Michael Jordan. But the thing is, he won 6 NBA championships. 6 times to the final, 6 victories. And that is what propelled him. And everybody said, who is the greatest about that? Michael Jordan. And some persons have never seen Michael Jordan play. But they will have a great debate and tell you that he's the greatest of all time. And that is what his team propelled him to. Now, let me talk about that team-first approach. Because whereas friendship is vital, it's not a requirement. We don't have to be best buddies. We don't have to be best friends. Now, Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman play on the Bulls team from 96 to 98. 3 years. Jordan was just coming back after his early retirement. Now, at the start of the 96 season, they needed a good defender. So the team management said, okay, let's see if we can find a real solid defender. and they thought of Dennis Rodman. But here's the problem. Jordan and Pippen did not like Dennis Rodman. In fact, they downright hate Dennis Rodman. And if most of you see Dennis Rodman, you probably
hate him too.
No, when Rodman was playing in 89, 90, he was playing for the Pistons, who were referred to as the bad boys. And when I say bad boys, I mean bad boys. They do some nasty things to players. And Pippen and Jordan was usually at the end of it. So when the team decided that, listen, they wanted Rodman, they was wondering, how will Pippen and Jordan deal with this? Because Rodman was virtually the enemy. Anyways, Pippen and Jordan said, look here, team first. They want to win championship. So they were willing to sacrifice their ego to go forward. And that is what we need to do. Need to drop that of ego to go forward. So Rodman come into the team. But here's the interesting part. Jordan, Pippen never spoke to Rodman, apart from on the basketball court. For 3 years, they said they played together and they never spoke apart from on the basketball court. However, they had one thing in mind. They wanted to win championships and they were willing to do anything for the team because at the end of the day, their individual glory would be secured. Their legacy would be secured. The next thing I want to talk about, friendship is vital but not a requirement. Rivalry ignites certain passion in people. Being casual leads to casualty. Now I don't know if you ever noticed with the Jamaica athletic team that whenever they go to any big championship and there is no little fuss, they tend not to do so well, especially with the relays. Any big championship and they hear that there's little fuss and quarrel, I don't know, it must ignite something in them. But if there's no little cascas or pasa, the relay team tend not to be so hot. Whenever there is some person claiming that I want a particular leg and all of that, everybody just come out and really put out their A game. And here's the other thing that I want to talk about when you have a team. Friendly, yes, but not always. I don't know if any of you are watching the recent NBA Western Conference Final. Now, if you follow NBA, you will know that Kevin Durant was brought to Golden State Warriors to secure a legacy and win championship. Now, Game 7 between Houston. Houston was leading by about 12 or 13, and this was the final game. Now, Draymond Green made a pass to Durant. However, Durant seemed like he wasn't interested in the game and missed the ball. The point guard for Houston take it, slam it in the basket, and Golden State was down by 15 points. But Green let Durant know what was on his mind, and in no uncertain terms. And of course, Durant wasn't taking it lying down. Durant responded, but it did something for the team. Because the team that came out in the third quarter was a different set of human beings. Durant game was up, Green game was up, Curry game was up. In fact, they blew out Houston in the third quarter. And that's what I'm talking about. We have to be friendly. But sometimes in a game, you have to let a man know that this man, you're acting the fool and somebody needs to tell you.
Yes, man.
So what we are going through, you have to be, you can't have your teammates and everybody just laying back and everybody just taking it. I'm bridging. Your brethren need to understand that this is a game and we need to win as a team. And your participation is vital.
From training, sir.
And if we don't get it out of your brother, we are going to lose.
Yes.
And then we are going to quarrel with each other. So let them know right away that we need to get our A game and we need to do so now. Just like Green tell Durant. In fact, after the match when they asked Green about it, Green said, sorry, not Green, Durant, when they asked Durant about it, Durant said Green know how to rile him up, to get him to play. So they didn't take it so personal off the court. They understand that, listen man, this is game time, this is game 7, we need to win this or we go home. Alright. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is forgiveness. Now this might not be something that we discuss when it comes to football and team sports, but it is important. Forgiveness is a necessary ingredient in any team sport. Forgiveness. Now here's the first thing. If you listen, if you ever watch Soldier Show with the Marines will tell you that they will never leave a soldier behind. In fact, even if he's dead, the Marine will sacrifice his life to go for the dead man. Never leave a soldier behind. The next thing. Win as a team, lose as a team. Now every team will have stars on it. Every team will have stars. It's a part of a team. But the truth is, we have to play as a team. Win as a team, lose as a team. If you ever notice fans when it comes to a game, if the team win, it is we. When the team lose, it is them. In fact, listen to your fellow students. If you win a match, how the match?
Yeah.
We win, man.
No.
When they lose, it's not we lose anymore. The boy and them lose, our maggoty lose. But anytime there is a win, it is we. And my thing is, we have to play as a team. When we are finished, if we win, it should be everybody. But we have this time, a lot of times, not only in football, when there's a loss, then everybody starts finding the person to blame. And as one person highlighted too, if the team win, it's the players. And if they lose, it's the coach. Yeah, man. If the team win, the players. Whenever they lose, it is the coach. Now, here is something that I want to share. When confidence is low, seek to build, not bloat. Now, sometimes you have some players, some you can consider bossing, and they go out on the field and they don't do too well. And because we never too like how they behave, we take this as an occasion to say, yes, man, long time if you have. Now, when a player is down, for the sake of the team and also to help the person, we need to learn to build them. Yeah. I'm going to use two examples. You know this name? Huh? You know this game? This name? Liverpool goalkeeper. So, the other day was the Champions League final. And most of us, if we love football and play football, we should have watched the final. And you would have known by now that Liverpool goalkeeper toss the ball, Benzema pick it up, score 1-0, your team in problem. But I didn't watch the final. But when I was playing afterwards, there was something that not even the referee picked up. In fact, the German television picked up that just before he had thrown that ball, that Sergio Ramos elbowed the goalkeeper and knocked him over. That goalkeeper was probably dizzy when he threw that ball. One elbow knocked him flat, and when he complained to the referee didn't see it at all. But here's the troubling part of it for me. When the match was over, and the Liverpool goalkeeper was on the ground and he was crying, no player went over to him to console him. And that was poor for our international team. If he had stopped 2 penalties and given them the victory, everybody would be carrying him on their shoulders. But the fact that he had ended up giving away 2 goals, he was there subbing, and nobody went over to him. Now hear me. There are times when people will be at the lowest. And that is really the time that they need to give them the strength.
That's right.
And I'll use Bideman as an example. In 1991, Mandela visited Jamaica. It was a special event, a big event. But you know Jamaica, everything we have to put music and dancing in it. So Mandela was here, and we were going to greet and celebrate with Mandela. So we have to get music and dancing. Bideman was an upcoming artist for the last 10 years at that time, because he started from about 79 as a little boy. And the reason why they call him Bideman. Now, he went to the event, 1991, he was about 18 or so, trying to make a break. Went on stage, picked up the mic, started a song, And boy, it was the worst song he could have chosen. In fact, there was, I don't know if you young men know Pinchers, for those of you who know music. Pinchers had a song at the time saying, hey, Green Girl and Pasero, make way for the bandolero. Now, Beenie Man imitated the song. Imitated the song, step on stage and say, hey, Green Arm over there. Unfortunately, Mr. Seattle was also in the same direction. He was the JLP leader. And brothers and sisters, I tell you, members of the congregation, everybody, it was the loudest boo. In fact, it was at the National Stadium, and if you were at Mammoth, you probably hear the boo. Beenie Man, national event, televised, this is your big break to send a message to the world. And the message that the world got, that you flop and center stage. Now, Beenie Man was crestfallen. In fact, Beenie Man wanted to leave music. Wanted to leave music. But I hear in an interview said once, it was Captain Barker and somebody else who encouraged him and said, listen, you can't waste your talent. You have to give it another go. And in the next year, by 1992, he was at the charts. By 93, he along with Bounty Killer was the biggest thing in Jamaica. And for the last 20 years or so, they have never dropped the bottom. You can imagine what would have happened if at his lowest, nobody said, listen man, you can do better. You have much more in you. And that is one of the things I want us to understand when we are within a team. If your player is low, it is your responsibility to build up your teammate because you know that they have more in them. In fact, you need to identify the stuff that they have, and it is your responsibility to bring it out. And here's the final thing that I want to look at. Players make a team, but a bigger team is needed. Players make a team, but a bigger team is needed. Everybody counts. Now sometimes when we're winning, and we're just concerned about ourselves and who is scoring the goal, and I know that the person who scored goal and the person who's getting all the highlight. In fact, if you ask most person, tell me a player from Real Madrid, they'll just say the one.
One player.
Because interesting.
Alright, and you notice who you chose? A goal scorer.
Goal scorer.
Yeah? Goal scorer. They'll tell you about the Gareth Bale, or Ronaldo. And if you go over Barcelona, they'll tell you about Messi and Suarez. The persons who are scoring goals. But the truth is, it's not only goal scorers make up a team. And the truth is, take Real Madrid, for instance, that win the Champions League just a few days ago. Without Ramos, albeit it was very unkind, albeit he was a villain. If it wasn't for Ramos, Liverpool would be walking away with that Champions League. Ramos take out Salah and take out the goalkeeper too. So whereas Bale will be highlighted for his 2 goals, or the other person will be highlighted for the goals, and they say, yes, most times we forgot. We forget rather the other players. We forget the goalkeepers who might save about 20 goals. And you just kick one in and you are the hero. The thing is, everybody counts. And not just the persons who are on the field. Because the persons who are putting it together, as we said earlier, when the players win, it is the players. When they lose, coach. What kind of team? By the way, you know when you go to a match, there's not just one coach. Everybody in this time is a coach. And they know the 11 that should be there. And they will tell you the 11. And if everything is working well, the 11 don't matter. But wait until things are not going so well. Coach, why you have to play on the Monday? Coach, I don't know if most times when you fellas go to the after halftime and you might gather around and everybody have a word of advice for you. Every single person come, know what you should be doing and what you not should be doing. In fact, the coach don't know much at that time. All the other coaches, the spectators, are the ones who want to tell you exactly what needs to be done. But here's the thing, they are also important. The sponsors. Football don't play without money. In fact, no sports don't play without money. So as a team, you also have a responsibility for the sponsors who are putting their money into the game. And let me say, the fans. Now the fans will ride it, they will curse it, but they are the same fans who will cheer and lift you up. So your fans are important. So when you are playing, you are not just playing for yourself, you are also playing for your entire team, you're playing for your community, you're playing for your school. The persons who support you will always be there to support you. Sometimes they tear you up if you need to get tear up. Sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes they take it overboard. The next thing, family and friends. Before you become a star, there are persons who will support you. And after the glory days are done, there are persons there who will still support you. And you must be concerned about these persons. So before you could have a football ball, they will ensure that you have one. And before you can even play properly, they have you at the back of their mind. Now, you will notice sometimes some persons will come to a match. And the first thing they start asking, where's the Benoit? So how is it that Black River is not on the team? Because none of my community are the best man. And based on what I am seeing, this man should be the first name on the paper. Because the community people are coming to see their community people play. Friends, family are coming to see their persons play. So all of those persons are important. Especially friends and families. Because they will have your back when things are not so good. They will enjoy the glory with you. But especially in the down periods. They are the ones. When all the fans go out, I don't care whether or not. Because you know most of the fans just care about the championship. If you win, they celebrate all night. But if you lose, they cost you a whole year. And probably another year. But you see your friends and family, they are the ones that are going to stand with you when things are low. When you feel like you don't want to play the sport again. So these persons, friends and families, are most important to the overall team. So here what we need to do. Let us build and win something together. But let this be more than just football. Because what I want you to learn right now, that team is important in every aspect of our lives. And while we go forward, even if we don't win a championship, even if we don't go as far as we want to go, we need to remember that after we leave football and go further in life, teamwork is important. Teamwork is in key. There's an old saying, say no man is an island. It's a very true saying. Because there's nothing that you can achieve that you can do it all by yourself. Nothing. Thank you, sir. No man is an island. Nobody stands alone. Because sometimes we say we are independent and that everything I've done. But the truth is, most of us here don't even build the package that we have. Now they make the belt. The socks will not even know where it come from. In fact, there is hardly anything we do just by ourselves. So we all depend on each other. So gentlemen, let us learn to depend on each other as we build a team and as we build a life. Pay attention to your coach. Pay attention to the support staff. Pay attention to your manager, your principal. Pay attention, most important, to your teammate. Because this is the closer group. And let us build a team together. I want to thank you very much for listening.